Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday's video. I'm Anna Perez and welcome to Designer Drive. Man, I stumbled across that a little bit. It's been I don't know. It's been a rough past couple of weeks. I just feel sluggish. I don't know. I need to get back on it, right? All right. Anyways, so today's video. Hopefully some of y'all are on my Facebook and y'all follow me either on 914 or my personal page, and I'm sure y'all seen that I've gone live a couple times. Getting a little used to that. It's still a little awkward for me, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it because I like the interaction with the people that do watch my videos, so it's pretty cool. Wish I could do that with these, but I don't really want to do these live. Anyways, so today's topic. I'm actually going to break this into a two-parter this week. Today is going to be how to be a good employee, and then Thursday, I have a topic for Thursday. Thursday is going to be how to be a good boss, and these topics are, again, like always, they're just myself, my own experiences, being either a manager of something, being a boss, owning businesses, and also being an employee and having employees. I've been on both spectrums, so I know how both people, feel. All right, so we're gonna start today's off with the employees, the boss's perspective of how to be a good employee. All right, now, if you've never watched any of my past videos and heard me explain that, sorry, my nose is itching. It is spring, Texas, allergies. This is a bad time for us. Anyways, I used to manage apartments. I managed apartments for 10 years before getting into graphic design. So I've managed assistant managers. I've managed leasing agents. I've managed maintenance staff and a property of, up to like 300 units, meaning if you've ever lived in an apartment complex or ever, worked in one, that means basically a daycare of 300 families. Okay. It's a lot of stuff. Okay. It's everything from, taking rent to juggling and scheduling maintenance, requests and work orders and people needing things looked at and fixed and going in people's apartments for inspections. It's a lot of stuff, right? And then managing the residents, whether they're coming in for complaints or coming in because they can or can't pay the rent, or getting people moved in. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you live in an apartment complex, take the manager some cookies or something, because you have no idea how hard that job actually is. Because the kicker of that job is that, yes, she or he may be the manager of the property, but they don't have final say of anything. Everything that they do or don't do in residents' eyes is because of the people actually pulling the strings, and that is either the management company that employs them, or the owner of the property, which employs the management company and the employees. Does that make sense? So the manager is just, they're the person in the hot seat that gets to filter through the requests and get to be the one walking around with the target on our back. Okay, it's not a glamorous job. Some people really love that career. I did for a long time, but come toward the last leg of it, I was done. And it all has to do with what kind of bosses you have, what kind of properties you have. There's a lot to do with it, and I've been put through the ringer more than once, and I finally tapped out in 2010. And I'm glad I did, because now I'm where I am and doing what I actually love. And it has its ups and downs too, but it speaks more toward my heart. It's where I'm supposed to be, and that makes a big difference. Okay, so let's talk about how to be a good employee. All right, coming from a boss's perspective, there are a few things that, actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull up something real quick, because I actually made a list. If I can find it, give me a minute. I might be able to find it. If I don't find it real quick, I'll just wing it. Yeah, because that's what I love to do. Um, okay, yeah, no, I don't find it. Okay, so we're just gonna wing it. So, off the top of my head, uh, what are some things I require to be a good employee, or most bosses require to be a good employee? Let's start with number one: show up, be here, be there, show up on time, and I know this is a hard concept for some people, but especially if you work for somebody else, on time means at least 10 minutes early. You know, on time is early, and that's how you. That's just how it has to go. You don't stroll into work right at 8, 9 o'clock, or whenever you're supposed to be there. Go to the bathroom, take your time finishing your breakfast, go make you a cup of coffee. No, man, that's the whole purpose of being there early, so you can get all those things out of the way, so you're in your seat or in your wherever you're supposed to be, and already at working by the time that work's supposed to start. Does that make sense? I say that a lot. I'm sorry, but yeah, it means being there. You know, being reliable. That's what it boils down to. Being reliable, knowing that you're going to be there. Now, that does not mean, and right now we have a lot of things going on with the flu season and this coronavirus that's going on and all that. That does not mean drag your snotty nose, coughing and hacking, fever having self into an office full of people that have families to spread your funk. Now, then keep your ass at home. However, that boils down to something called communication. Communication means as soon as you know that I don't think I'm going to work today or tomorrow, you send that email, that text, that message, whatever you got to do. Say, hey, look, I'm running a fever. I don't want to get everybody sick. I'm going to have to take the day off. Now, communication means also wording that just as I said. Letting your boss know, hey, I don't want to get everybody else sick. I mean, it's all about wording things, people. Think about it. Don't send in a message, hey, I'm puking my guts up, I'm not going to make it. Or, hey, I don't feel so good. I don't feel so good is when you just say somebody, I don't feel good, that could be, and I'm not downplaying this because this could be the case too, but that could be anything from I'm just feeling lazy and I don't want to leave my couch today to I'm on my deathbed. Communicate a little better. You know, you ain't got to give all the details. Your boss doesn't want to know that you've been shitting yourself for the past 24 hours. Seriously, we don't. All we need to know is that I've come down with something. I don't want to pass it on to somebody else. You know, then that makes you look considerate and professional. It doesn't make you look like a teenager wanting to have a skip day. All right? So think about that. But every other day, be there on time, 10 minutes early, and stay and be productive until it's time for you to go. You know, we've all had those days where come an hour, everybody knows after lunch it's downhill. I mean, that's just the way it is. Everybody's most productive in the morning, and then once lunch passes, it's kind of like you got a full belly, you really want a nap, you know, kind of done for the day. But you're getting paid for the entire day, so be productive the whole time that you're supposed to be there. Not for another hour after lunch and then be tapped out. You know, come on, think about that. All right, something else. Communication is big, and it's not just about not being there, it's about communicating with your boss. If you can't talk to your boss openly, if you're too intimidated or if you're too shy or you don't think that things are important to share with your boss, that's a problem. It's really funny that I'm going to be saying this because as a kid growing up, I hated anything that had to do with teamwork. Okay, I'm a very solo type of person. I didn't like group projects. I didn't like team sports. I mean, the only group team I was in was band. Okay, and even that was a struggle for me because, yeah, I didn't like half the people that were in band with me. I had my little circle. That was it. So it's really kind of ironic that I'm fixing to preach this, but Teamwork, teamwork. If you cannot work as a team at your job, it's time for you to find another job. All right? Because as a boss, we want our employees to communicate, not just with each other, but with us. We want there to be such a good flow of communication and work being done that we don't want there to be anything holding up anything, okay? No drama, no drama. If your life is full of drama, check that shit at the door, okay? We, as bosses, we care about our employees. Most of us do, okay? To an extent. To an extent, meaning that I don't need to know about your aunt's drug problem. I don't need to know about, and I don't mind talking with my employees or whatever, but there comes a time that as long as those talks don't proceed and take over work time, okay? I've had employees in the past that I've known too much about their personal life, and I don't mind personal life, but it's when that personal life is full of drama that I have an issue. I can't have that. I can't have that in my space. Okay, I'm a very drama-free person, which I've been around it for years. When I worked in the apartment industry, it's mostly female. It's mostly women, and let me tell you. It hurt my head how much drama there was going on. Whether it was the leasing agents were pissed off at the managers were pissed off at management company, the owners were, come in and would shake everything up. There was always something going on. And maybe not every boss is like me, but me in general, no drama. I don't like it. If I feel like I have an employee that is full of personal issues, which I have had this, I loved her to death as a person. I thought she had such great potential and she was such an amazing heart, but her life was so full of drama that I couldn't handle it. I saw it on her, like she was carrying a bunch of 50 bags of sand. Like she was hunched over, she was depressed, she loved being here, and I know she loved being here, but she couldn't leave that drama at home. It followed her, whether it was blowing up her phone or people coming here looking for her. Like it was bad, guys. I ain't got time for that. One, it changes the atmosphere, and if my atmosphere turns into a funky, hazy, heavy feeling, all I want to do is go home and lock my door. I can't have that around me. And I guarantee you, your bosses, no matter where you work, they have a million things going on in their mind and they got a lot of weight on their shoulders. They don't need your weight as well. Your job as an employee is to make our lives easier. I don't care if that means that you're constantly just walking around wiping shit down, picking stuff up, taking the trash out. That makes our life easier because it means it's a few less things for us to worry about having to do. So if your job, no matter what it is, you go in and you know that you're maybe you don't have anything to do right away. Look around, man. If the trash is full, go take it out. If there's trash outside your office, go sweep it up, go pick it up. Those are the things that we notice and that we see and that we appreciate. We shouldn't have to tell you what to do. You're an employee, and for a lack of better words, you're hired to do these things so we don't have to do them. I've had maintenance guys in the past that just kind of like would stand there and wait for me to give them instruction for the day, and it's like, you know your job. You know your job, but we have discussed this. You know that there's a routine that we've had. So don't stand around sipping on your coffee and waiting for me to tell you, hey, that stack of work orders, or this list of things that we had to get done, chop, dude. the sooner you get it done, the faster you get it done, the faster, things clear out for the day. I don't know. It's just, I've been told that it has to do with work ethic and the difference of work ethic between the generations. There, you got the boomers that complain about the millennials, and then there's my generation, which is Gen X, I think, or some shit like that. That we're in between. That we're a common. Some of us are got the work ethic of the boomers, and some of us just like the millennials, and I say this with all love because it's just a tag and it's just a fun thing to call people. But the truth is, I've hired and my husband have hired, we've gone through numerous employees since before the shop, like I said, when I managed apartments, and he's managed other shops back in Miami or whatever, and we've all met those people that you hire, and they get all excited. They're all gung-ho for the job until you hire them, and then once you hire them, all of a sudden their enthusiasm's out the window. Man, I need you to be excited about this job. I chose you out of however many people that I talk to, which sometimes is only a couple people, but sometimes it's a lot of people. And I make this decision to hire somebody when I feel like they fit the position, and I feel like they would fit me. They would fit my company, whatever it is that I'm doing at the time. And that's what most employers do, that there's something that clicks during an interview, and they either have faith in you or they don't. So if they have faith in you and they hire you, and take that shit seriously. You were looking for a job. You needed a job. When you're handed a job, act like you still want it. I've seen people get hired. I've hired people and they seemed all gung-ho, and I fell for it and stuff, and not even 2 days into the job, and they're ghosting me, and they're like, oh, well, I don't have time to come in, or something came up, or the stories I've heard, y'all. The stories I have heard is ridiculous. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Seriously? So then I gotta start the hiring process all over again, which I have done more than once, and it sucks. It sucks. We don't like hiring people. Let me tell you, let me put that out there now. So it's a pain in the ass. It takes time out of our day. It's a gamble, because no matter who you hire, you don't know if they're actually going to end up being the people that you thought that you interviewed, thought that you hired. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyways, so be on time, communicate, do your job. Don't have to be handheld. Now, if you're in training for a position, obviously, ask questions. That's when you do need to be handheld, because you want to learn how to do the job right. Okay. Let's see. If you are in training, or if you're in a position that is new to you, and obviously they hired you, and as long as you told the truth, they hired you knowing that you're new to this position, ask questions. Don't go fucking shit up. Don't go breaking stuff. Don't go assuming that you know something and doing things horribly wrong because you want to make yourself look like you know something that you don't really. As an employee, and please, at Big Heart, be star, write this shit down. Be honest about what you know. If you do not know it, you can always say, I'm willing to learn, I'm a quick learner, but don't say you know it. I'm gonna tell you a story. I hired a guy, maintenance guy, said he knew all the maintenance stuff, right? Said he checked out. How he checked out, I don't know. He had to give me a bunch of friends' phone numbers to verify for him or something, because I hired him. We have this big water issue where he had to go into an apartment, and he was supposed to turn off the water to change out a faucet, right? Well, one of the most basic things any maintenance guy knows is that if you do anything water related, you turn the water off first. Off. Common sense, right? He did not think of that. What did he do? He took the water faucet off, and water just started flooding the apartment. It just started spewing everywhere. Why? Because he didn't turn the water off. Why didn't he turn off the water? Because he didn't know what he was doing. Guys, this was also before YouTube, so yeah, there was no common sense there whatsoever. He flooded an apartment all because he wanted to act like he knew what he was doing when he really didn't. So if you're in a position where, oh God, my nose. So if you're in a position where your prospective employer during an interview or whatever asks you, do you know how to do something? Be completely honest, because you know what's more annoying than somebody saying, no, I don't know how to do this? You saying that you do know how to do it, and then we have to take time to either correct your mistake or teach you. And if I have to teach you something that I hired you because I thought you already knew how to do it, you're wasting my time. If you're wasting my time, you're just going to piss me off. Okay? Another thing I'm going to highly suggest, any new job you take, I don't care if it's working at a grocery store or a big company that you got a big break in. If you're not taking notes, I don't care if it's the simplest of notes, like, my boss likes this kind of coffee, or my boss seemed agitated because I showed up 5 minutes early instead of 15 minutes early. Pay attention. Write these things down. Take note, because these notes are the things that you need to keep on you because you never know what's going to be referred back. Because sometimes as a boss, we like to test you to see if you were paying attention. And if you're taking notes and you're actually paying attention, you'll pass with flying colors. If we notice that you keep asking the same questions every day, we know you're not paying attention. You're obviously not taking notes. So yeah. Think about what's going to make you look the best to us. Being on time, communication, taking notes, being responsible, being reliable, no drama. Let's see, what else? All right, we're coming up on 22 minutes. I need to wrap this up. There's a lot. There's a lot to being a good employee, and most of it's common sense. But over the years, definitely realized that common sense is not very common. So ask questions, but don't be a pain in the ass. Last but not least, I'm going to leave you with one more thought. Depending on what your career is, it may not be your dream job, but understand that every job you take is a learning lesson of some kind. You're going to learn something. It may or may not pertain to the specific job, but you're going to learn something. Go into every job wholeheartedly knowing that you're picking up new skills to carry on with you into the future. The skills that I learned, the different careers I've had. I worked at Sonic for 4 years as a teenager. What do I still use from that? How to multitask, how to smile and be nice to a customer even when you really don't feel like it. Random skill is I can make change out of anything off the top of my head. And I'm not the best math person in the world, but that just, it comes immediately. You give me $5 and your meal was $1.32. I give you back 68 cents and that's $3.68. Boom, there's a change. I hope I did that right. I want to look like an idiot if I didn't. Anyways, it's just, in every skill, in every job you take, you're going to learn another skill. After that, I worked at a print shop. Okay? Lo and behold, I had no idea back then that I regret not picking up as much as I could have from that, because I would be so much more knowledgeable in the print process for my designs if I had paid more attention back then. But back then I was 19, 20, 21 years old. I think I was there for 3 years, something like that. And I remember some things, but really the amount of information I could have took from that was enormous, and I wasted it. I wasted a lot of my time there. I didn't know back then that it would be useful to me today. I really didn't. So from there is when I went into the apartment industry. In the apartment industry, I've learned, first I was a leasing agent, and I learned how to, customer service. That was a big thing. How to keep my residents happy, how to keep them informed. Communication was a big thing. The importance of contracts and how to read a contract, how to share a contract, how to get people to sign a contract, a lot of things. And then I went from there to, assistant manager, then manager. And then that is what taught me how to be a boss, just everything about a boss, how hard it is to actually manage employees, how hard it is to actually schedule and juggle EMS, how to actually schedule and juggle workloads and requests and everything from invoices to getting payments to, guys, I know how to fix an AC. Not very many people know that. I don't know if I'd be that great at it now. It's been a while. But I know how to fix plumbing. Some minor electrical, minor plumbing, minor AC work, and painting, caulking, power washing, you name it. I've had to do it at least once. How to industrially clean an apartment that is left god awful. Are all these skills going to be something I use in the rest of my life? Maybe not. Who knows? But a lot of it's come up at least once. So go into every job that you have wholeheartedly, and if it's something you're interested in, and you feel like it could be your career, go above and beyond. Meaning, don't just do the job. Don't just show up for your 8 hours. Actually, bring something to the table. Learn some more, read some books, watch some videos, do whatever, take some classes. Show your boss, show your employer that you're in it for the long haul if you are. If you're not, still make the best of it. Because whether or not, say you work at the Dollar General, okay? Be the best employee you can be, because then your boss, hopefully, if you got a good boss, and we'll talk about bosses on Thursday, will give you a shining fucking recommendation for your next step in life. And let me tell you, those recommendations are important. They really are. You may not feel like they are, but they are. So, that's it for the employee section of this. And I am going to wrap this up. I don't know what that was. I'm going to wrap this up, and I will see you on Thursday, and then we'll talk about how to be a good boss, because that is just as important, if not more important, than being a good employee. All right? Y'all have a wonderful rest of the week. I'll see y'all on Thursday. Bye.